Namaste students, welcome to our EVS class. We are doing block 5. In the previous classes, the lessons we have learnt are the features of living things, okay, and how they grow and reproduce. We learnt that living things grow, take food, breathe air, they have a lifespan, and they live for a period of time and die. We also learnt how they reproduce, and in today's class we are going to learn about the nutrition and air. How do different living beings take their food to grow, and how do they breathe? Right? On the screen you can see a frog with its tall tongue. Okay, it's a long tongue, long tongue, and it is trying to catch the fly, right? So we already know that living things need food and air to live. Today we will compare the different ways living things get food and air. Okay, in today's class we are going to learn about different living things. Look at them and learn how they take food and how they take air, right? So the keywords that we are going to learn today are organism. Organism means living thing. Gills, breathing organs of fish. Nutrition, the process of using food to live and grow. Pores are tiny holes, right? So now let us look at this chart. There is lot of interesting information here. So they have given us 3 columns here in this chart. So the first column is about the organisms. Organism means which kind of living thing, what is the living thing here. So first one is fish, you can see. So the second heading here in the second column is how does it get food, okay, how does this fish get its food. In the third column it is given how does it get air, okay. So here we have how many organisms here? We have the fish, frog, grasshopper, horse. So let us find out how the fish, here they have taken the shark here. You can see the picture of the shark, how it is taking in the food. Okay, it is using its mouth. You can see that shark uses its mouth to take in the food. And how does it breathe here? See, it has a special organs for breathing. These are gills. Okay, the red color ones, the arrow is given, no? These are the gills of a fish through which it breathes. Okay, the second organism that we are going to learn about is the frog. How is it taking its food? So it has a very long tongue, it is sticky tongue with which it catches the flies and it takes in the food. So how does the frog breathe? Frog also has lungs, so it breathes through its skin. Okay, you can look at the picture here, the frog, and here we have the grasshopper here. How is the grasshopper eating? Taking food. Grasshopper is using its mouth to eat the leaves there. And how does it breathe? Grasshopper breathes through the breathing holes. You can see the holes under it, right? So the next organism is the horse here. How is the horse taking in its food? Horse eats with its mouth. Okay, you can see the horse eating the grass with its mouth. And how does it breathe? Horse has lungs. Okay, horse has lungs and it breathes through lungs. Okay, now we have a plant here. How does the plant make its food? How does it take in its food? Plant makes its own food. Okay, you can see the picture of the plant here. What is the sun doing here? Okay, plant in the presence of sunlight, okay, with the help from sunlight and air and soil and water, it makes its own food. Okay, in the leaves, The food is made in the leaves. So the leaves are called the kitchen. It's like kitchen for the plants. How kitchen for us, where we make food na in our house. Kitchen is the place where we make the food. For that, like that, for plants, leaves are like kitchen. Okay. How do the plants make their food? Plants use the sunlight, air, soil and make their food, right? So how do they breathe? How do the plants take air? Plants have tiny pores, okay, small holes on the leaf. So they get air through tiny pores, right? Now let's move further. So let us watch this video here.
Now let's watch a video.
Plants make their own food, and animals eat plants or other animals. Plants get air through the pores on their leaves, and animals have different breathing parts.
Let us watch this video once again to remember the important points.
Plants make their own food, and animals eat plants or other animals. Plants get air through the pores on their leaves, and animals have different breathing parts.
Okay, now it's time for some.
What do plants and animals use to get food and air? Okay, we are going to learn this now. Okay, what do plants and animals use to get food and air? Okay, plants make their own food while animals eat plants and other animals. Okay, plants make their own food. What do animals do? Animals eat plants and other smaller animals, right? Plants get air through the tiny pores on surface of the leaves. Animals use different organs to breathe, such as gills, lungs, their skin and breathing holes, right? Now let us observe this chart here, this table here. Okay, it contains lot of information here. So we have 3 columns here, and the first column, the heading is living thing, how it gets its food, how it gets air. Okay, on the left side, okay, in the first column we have the names of the living things. We have the fish, okay, shark, frog, grasshopper, horse, plant. These are the living things, and we are going to find out how these living things take their food and how they get air. Okay, so let's begin with the fish here. Fish is the first living thing which we have here. Fish eats with its mouth. And how does it get air? Through its gills. Okay, fish eats with its mouth and breathes through gills. Next, second living thing, what it is? Frog. Okay, frog catches food using its sticky tongue. So the frog is using its tongue. How is the tongue of the frog? It is long and sticky. So it uses its long sticky tongue to catch the flies and it eats them, right? Flies and other insects. So how does the frog get air? Okay, frog gets its air that it needs through lungs on land. When the frog is on the land, it uses its lungs to get the air, and when it is in the water, it uses the moist skin in water. Okay, now let us go to the third living thing here. It is the grasshopper. How does the grasshopper get it food? Gets it food? Okay, grasshopper eats with its mouth. Yes, we have learned this before, right? Grasshopper eats with its mouth and it gets air through breathing holes. Right? We have finished the fish, frog, grasshopper, how they get their food and how they get their air. Now the next living thing is horse. How does horse get its food? Horse eats with its mouth and gets air using lungs. Right, students? Let's move further. The last living thing in this column is the plant. How does it get its food? Plants make their own food. How do they get the air? They get air through tiny pores on the leaf surface, right? Now let's move ahead. Why do living things have to get their food and air in different ways? We have observed that plant, their way of getting food is different. Frog, its way of getting food is different, right? So why do living things get their food and air in different ways? Okay. So let us go ahead to find out why they are different in getting their food and air. Let's learn. Animals have different bodies, eat different things and live in different places. We don't have long tongues like frogs and we don't eat flies, okay. So animals' bodies, okay, different animals have different type of bodies. They eat different things and live in different places, right. As they need to take air from water, fish use gills and frogs use their skin, okay, because they have to take air from the water. Fish use gills and frogs use their skin. Plants don't have lungs or mouths, so they use their leaves to make food, okay. Did you see any plant having a lungs or mouth? No, right? So they make their own food, okay. They use their leaves, right? Insects such as grasshoppers breathe through their breathing holes, while humans and other mammals such as horse have lungs, right? What did we understand from this, Nana? So all the animals have different bodies, okay, different types of bodies, and they eat different things. They live in different places, okay. So they take air through. Some of the animals take air through water and they use gills, okay, because plants don't have lungs or mouths, so they make their own food. Insects such as grasshoppers breathe through their breathing holes, okay, and humans and other animals have lungs to take in the air, right. Now how do water animals? There are some water animals, right, aquatic animals. We learnt before what are the water animals. How do water animals like dolphins and whales that have lungs breathe? Okay, how do dolphins and whales breathe? Okay, they have lungs, right? So how do they breathe? Dolphins and whales cannot breathe underwater like fish. They do not have gills, okay. Dolphins and whales, they cannot breathe underwater. Okay, fish can breathe, but dolphins cannot. So they do not have gills. Dolphins and whales do not have gills. Then how can they breathe? They breathe through a blowhole that is on the top of their heads. Okay, on the top of their heads, you might have seen. This time you look at the picture of a dolphin, you observe on the head of the dolphin you have a hole. Okay, this is called the blowhole. They breathe through a blowhole that is on the top of their heads. They need to come to the surface of the water to breathe. So they on and on very frequently they can come to the surface of the earth, surface of the water to breathe. Okay, right. So now all of you open your workbook, right? All of you open your workbook. This is worksheet 5.3. I repeat, worksheet 5.3. Put today's date. Okay, did you put today's date? So let's read this. Nutrition and air. Question 1. Write if true or false. You have to write whether it is true or false. A1. Living things can survive without food. Can living things live without food? Can you and me live without food? True or false? False. Okay, because we can't live without food. So A1 is false. All of you write false. F-A-L-S-E. B. Read the sentence B. Living things need water to breathe. Are we breathing water or are we breathing air? Okay, air. No, we all breathe air. All living things need air to breathe. So breathing water is false. Okay, we don't need water, right? So B1 is false. C1, living things need air to survive. Did we learn this before? Yes, we learned living things need air. They breathe in air in order to live. Survive means, the word survive means live. In order to live, the living things take in air. True. C1 is true. You write TRUE. D1, living things need food to grow. Yes, it is right, because all living things take food to grow. So that is true. Okay, D1 is true. Now second question, fill in the table using the help words. These words are going to help you with the answers. So what are the words that are in the help box? Breathing holes, eats, tiny pores, makes, right? So we have two pictures here, one is of grasshopper and one is a rose plant. Now how does it get its food? How does the grasshopper get its food? Grasshopper eats leaves. Okay, you can write EATS in the blank. And whereas rose plant, does it eat its food? No, it doesn't have a mouth, right? So what does it do? Okay, it makes its food. Rose plant makes its food, whereas grasshopper eats leaves. Rose plant makes its food. How does it get air? How does the grasshopper get air? Okay, you can check the help box, Nana. There are some answer words. So grasshopper through the breathing holes on the sides of the body. A grasshopper has breathing holes on the sides of its body. So it uses these breathing holes to get the air. Okay, whereas the rose plant, okay, it has tiny pores on the leaf surface to get air. Now for the third question, Nana, crocodiles have lungs but they live in water. How do they survive in water, right? See, crocodiles are such a kind of animals that when they are under the water, they use their nostrils to breathe. When they are on the land, they open their mouth. Okay, most of the time their mouth is open, they take in a lot of air, right? So let's move to the next. Okay, we have the content book. All of you open your content book, right? Open your content book, and these are the practice questions, Nana. Write true or false. Plant does not breathe. Plant does not breathe but only makes food. Okay. So is it right, Nana? Plant does not breathe but only makes it food? No, this is wrong. We all understand plants also take in air through the pores on the leaves, right? So first one is false. Okay, plant does not breathe but only makes food is false. Now we go for the B one. Okay, B sentence. A chick can grow into an adult hen. True or false? Yes. Okay, a chick grows into an adult hen. It is true. TRUE, true, you can write. Now for the second question. A caterpillar is an insect with tiny holes in its body. How are these holes useful? Okay, a caterpillar has tiny holes on the sides of its body. The caterpillar uses these tiny holes to breathe, to take in air. You can write that. Okay, a caterpillar has holes. Okay, it uses these holes on its body to take in air. Okay, now second question, B bit. How does a grasshopper take in food? Okay, the grasshopper has tweezer kind of mouth. It uses its mouth to eat leaves. Okay, now the third question, why do dolphins and whales that live in water come up to the surface of water? Okay, dolphins and whales have a blowhole on their head. So whenever they come to the surface of the water, they take in air, they breathe, right? They take in air, you can write that. Dolphins and whales have a blowhole on their head. They come to the surface of water to take in air. Nana, we have answered the workbook questions and content book practice questions. We also watched the video. We learned so many things from the table. We answered so many questions, right? And that's all for today. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.